And we are back with the build.
You did it wrong.
How we do that? That ain't how. We'll try again. And we're back with the build. Okay. Yes. So, in our last segment, we talked a lot about Black excellence on the move. The Janelle Monáe's Lene.
We gotta start over.
I'm sorry. It sounds like they're artists. I'm sorry. Okay.
Not to be
I keep saying whatever. And we're back with the build. Okay. So we're back with the Janelle Monáe experience. Yeah. She was just talking to us about the importance of mental health and how in the Black community our mental health is really kind of, it's just hanging on by a thread. It's floating in the wind. We do a lot of self-medicating, right? When you go through something in the Black community, what we gonna do? Right. Man, I'm about to go get a bottle. Hey, who got the weed? We got to roll up. Yes. Jazzy in that bag. Self-medicating is something we do a lot of. And I wonder, and this is a question for all of us, when mental health is something that you want to improve, how do you transition out of I'm going to ignore it, I'm going to push it down as far as it can go, I'm going to self-medicate? How do you go from that to I'm going to examine and heal this thing?
I think for me, it got to the point where, like she said, I just got tired. I got tired of feeling hurt. I got tired of feeling like if my family loved me, if this was going on, if that, I got tired of feeling like that. Like that was energy that I no longer could exhaust. So I still self-medicate. However, I looked into other areas that needed to be healed and other ways to heal those things besides self-medicating and pushing it to the back burner. I reached out and started talking to therapists and talking to people and talking to whomever that would listen. Talking to my parents and healing that part of it, because again, it's a childhood trauma, so that was a thing. And though both of my parents are gone, it's still a trauma that I'm still talking to them and talking through things that we weren't able to hash out. So I think it's always going to be an ongoing thing, at least from in my experience. It's always going to be an ongoing thing. I'll have something that I'll need to heal from, some type of hurt, regardless if it's past trauma, future trauma, present trauma, work trauma, but just being able to not feel like that anymore, not have that pain.
Conscious choice.
Every day. But it's every day, like you said, it's an every morning thing. If some mornings I'm successful, it's like 100, let's get it with a purpose. And sometimes I wake up and it's like, why did I wake up?
Like,
that's real.
I'm back here again.
And then that conscious choice in how you deal with it. Because when we say that we self-medicate, you don't got to deal with it that way. You can go to the gym and maybe that, but it's a conscious choice of how you're going to deal with it. Because even those people that have those addictions, they're still trying to pull themselves out of that dark space. So they have to learn how to navigate them. You know what I'm saying?
100.
Yeah, and I think to what you're saying, and to answer a part of your question, accountability. I think being accountable, like, we make excuses for ourselves, right? Like, oh, it's just a vape. Or it's just weed. Weed is not a real drug. Or I just drink when I'm at the reserve. Like, and so but you're at the reserve 5 days a week. And so it's like, you're at every happy hour. And so, no, it's not. It's open. And so it's like, and so I think being accountable about it too, like we compare it. We got to get out of that comparative mindset where it's like, I'm not as bad as this person. Or it doesn't look like you're a functioning addict.
Yes.
Like, say that with you. Functioning addict. And that's okay. It's okay because you can change it. As long as you're still alive, like anything can be changed. It can be improved. And so I think accepting that you're really self-medicating, whether that's because you can't go to sleep, but you can't go to sleep truly because your mind won't turn off. And you're constantly thinking and you're blaming yourself for something and you haven't forgiven somebody for something else, or maybe you're like, well, I drink because I'm sad my such and such died. Well, maybe you need some grief count, so just looking at how you're using whatever it is. And then we talk about substances a lot. I would like to expose you to the idea of being addicted to people. And so a lot of times people are addicted to people. Mm-hmm. And so that woman or man that you cannot leave alone, that friend that no matter how much dirt they do, you can't cut them off, that mom that she just tear you apart every time y'all talk. Like, it is okay to detach from anybody
and detox
on this earth. Yes, and detox.
It's okay to choose you.
Yes, every single time. Yes. And I will, because it's like if they really care for me, they wouldn't make me feel like this.
Right.
And so I don't have any guilt for letting them go. Right. Because I have to let them go if I want to feel better. Yeah. Right. And so if you really want something, you should be willing to do whatever it takes to get it. Mm-hmm. And so
and the people that love you want you to do it.
Yes. The real ones, right?
Will support
and you know what? I believe, and this is a lesson that I have to learn all the time, but toxic love, we teach people how to treat us, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna break it down real quick. So emotions, this is something that I learned throughout therapy. Emotions are chemical reactions to stimuli, right? Mm-hmm. And that emotion literally is only supposed to last a couple of seconds to a couple of minutes. Anything beyond that, it goes from an emotional reaction to a mood. Mood changes into an attitude. Attitude changes into a way of life. Yes, so you get stuck in this stagnant energy because of that. Now, when you're dealing with people, so childhood trauma, one that I recognize in me is the need to feel useful and helpful.
Oh my God.
That's how I stayed safe.
Seriously.
As a kid. Mm-hmm. And so as an adult, I took, see, this is how I'm valuable. Yeah. See this. And the people that you're doing that with, now you will have some, love you for that, but you will have some that are going to see you giving and respect that and love you, not for what you bring, but just because you live.
Who you are.
Just because of who you are. But others will really kind of take advantage of that. Mm-hmm. And so you end up in this cycle of, see, I'm valuable. See? Okay, I got your love. Okay, no. I'm losing your love again. See, I'm valuable again. And so it gets into this toxic cycle of love where you are really just chasing love. Yeah. And the person, it's not being reciprocated. The person is loving what you bring to the table. Mm-hmm. And so when you get into a cycle like that, it's very scary to release that cycle. You love this person.
You created a habit.
You've taught them.
Now it's a way of life.
It's a way of life. And now you've taught these people how to treat you, and they're going to continue to treat you bad. And then when you set those boundaries, now you got to get thrown away. Now they can't leave out. Oh, now you're tripping. Right. So when you enter those cycles of toxic love, how do you guys break the cycle? How do you leave those toxic relationships?
Mm-hmm. Well,
now kicking and screaming.
So I used to leave kicking and screaming. Now I leave. So I wish if I was walking right now, y'all, I would flap my cape on this camera, because that's really how I be leaving now. Yes. And so because I really believe, like you was talking about earlier in our behind the scenes, like when you going through or to something, like God just start putting you through certain feelings, and they feel negative, but they really are just necessary. Like they don't feel good, but they are so necessary. Yes. And so I think that is how you identify who is meant to go forward with you or not. Yes. Mm-hmm. And so if you expose yourself, whether it's your good or your bad, if you come in the room shining your light and people acting funky or shady or whatever, that ain't it. If you go in the room and you talking to your friend and you telling her about how you feeling and she blame shifting and telling you why she ain't it, and so but trusting that. And so I think people value other people more than they value themselves.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And so because of that, they're like, well, I'm more committed to them in this relationship than I am to me by myself. Mm-hmm. And it's like, you got to be willing to be completely alone. And you don't know if that's going to be, you can leave that situation truly, and this has happened. You can leave that situation and go outside and meet somebody that winds up being like everything that you needed them to be in that friendship, right? Mm-hmm. Or you can leave that situation and wait years.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Are you going to stay committed, or are you going to pick up somebody else that's not worth your time?
No. Right.
And so it is a daily commitment to yourself. Like it's constant. And then being okay with how you're growing. I think we start feeling bad. It's like, well, they know me for this. I don't want to switch up on them.
Switch up.
What? I'm going to switch. I'm going to toss. I'm going to flip.
Everything.
All that.
Yes, I am.
And if you're not along for my growth journey, baby, then come on. Keep moving.
Bye.
Go on slide.
Yeah.
Go on the slide. I think so much of the issues that we come in contact with when in terms of relationships and with other people, and we always want to hold ourselves accountable. Like, well, what did I do? What did I do to hurt them? What did I do to upset them? What did I do? How can I do better? But you gotta realize that they're just as imperfect as you are, right? So sometimes it's not about what you did. Sometimes it's not even about what they did. Sometimes people just aren't equally yoked.
Yeah,
You have to
I
be
can agree with
okay
that, man.
with, I love being alone. You know, there are days when I can slide in and I might call off work so I got to deal with the people in the house, and then I'm just in the house like, I'm going to meditate, I'm going to go to the park, I'm going to take a bath, I'm going to the gym. Like, ooh, yay me! Took forever to get here though.
Look,
That was
can I just say this? Cause look, I'm reformed. I'm a
You're born again?
I was a side nigga of the year about 3 years in a row.
Okay.
I definitely was a horrible cheater in the longest relationship I've been in. We was off and on for like 20 years. So for a good half of it, I was just, don't add up my age.
I was like, that's all my life.
I didn't know if you were just adding up my age real fast. Don't do that. Don't do that. Let's just say 10 years. Let's just say 10 years. Let's cut it in half. So, but in that relationship, 10 years of it, you know, I'm pretty much a cheater, but I felt bad for it. And I always knew that, dang, one day she gonna get me. Okay, it's cool if she do a couple times. Well, it happened, and then it just was way crazier than I thought for her to go through that. So then the rest of the time, I mean, while we were together, I wasn't cheating. Well, it still felt like cheating because if we separated for a second, it's just like we knew we were gonna get back together.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying? So I had to just not do that no more because of the abuse that came from a scorned woman. I had to tell myself, bro, you can't do nothing about this. It's not in your hands no more. I mean, if you want to heal, you know, you're okay with letting go. Well, just let go. Let her, you feel me? It's going to hurt either way you're going through it. So it took me, I still deal with it a little bit, but you know what I mean? It took me a long time to be able to get that off of my conscience.
Yeah.
I'm a cheater. I'm a cheater. I'm a cheater.
So you think you need to take the punishment that you're getting
Exactly.
because you did wrong for so long. No, the bottom line is at the end of the day, we are only as good as our last decision. And sometimes the last decision you made was a shitty one, right? But that doesn't mean that I need to let you punish me for what I've done.
It doesn't mean you can't make another decision. Hey.
Exactly. You can always reinvent yourself. But when it comes to things like that where you're allowing someone to punish you based on something that you've done, no one gets to punish you. No one deserves to. You can have accountability for yourself, and you can sit down with yourself and understand how you need to move forward, how to better, make better decisions in the future.
Okay, then pop shit then, Isu.
But you are not. You don't have. No one is supposed to be punishing anyone else on this planet because we are all here trying to figure this shit out.
Not one judge, you know what I'm saying? The one that really matters. So at the end of the day, if you ain't him, her, it, they, whatever you believe in, him, her,
then no, you can't punish me.
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. I feel like, so my mother passed in 2021, and leading up to her passing, I feel like I was a good person, good person. Bad temper, emotionally erratic, all of the things. Emotional regulation was not my strong suit. And my mother was my therapist, right? Mommy left. Now what? I lost it. I lost it. When I say I spiral. Now, mind you, I'm someone who has suicidal thoughts. I have since 5. That was my first attempt, right? As I've gotten older, I have learned the differentiation between wanting to commit suicide and having suicidal thoughts. Even in my happiest day, right, when I am completely balanced and everything is well in the world, I could, if you said, take this day or you don't have to wake up tomorrow, I'd be like, well, shit, I don't want to wake up tomorrow. But that I'm not in a place where I want to kill myself and life is meant. No. So, but with that, when I lost mommy, I tanked, lost it, boom, done. Within a few months of that, I was ready to commit suicide. It was bad. What I learned in losing my mother was that, which is actually a really big example of like the friend thing. You had that nasty friend. She was nasty energy, you know. I tell people now, losing my mom was one of the greatest gifts she gave me. The reason being, in her absence, I had to learn to be my own safe space. I had to learn how to care for myself. I had to learn how to let go of those things that were just playing over and over in my head. Rumination will kill.
Oh, yes.
To ruminate, to continue. When you continue to think about this tragic event that has happened to you in your past, in any capacity, whether it be yesterday or 20 years ago, every time you think about it, you're going to get an emotional reaction. Emotions are chemical reactions to stimuli. You're thinking this thought, you are stimulating yourself to feel those exact same emotions. So you're going to relive this over and over and over. And so what becomes important, what I learned was that I can't sit in these thoughts. I can't sit in what I could have did. I can't change these things now. Now it's time for me to, okay, what's my lesson in this? Okay, so that's the lesson. Is there something that I can change? Is there something I can do differently right now? No? All right. So move on.
Yeah, resolve to
and then
resolve
mentally
later.
reset. You go from thinking those horrible thoughts and feeling those nasty feelings to evaluating, okay, why am I feeling this way? Oh, I'm feeling this way because I was thinking about that bullshit that happened. Yeah, he really played the fuck out of me. That was rude. Okay, but what lesson did you learn? Did you learn a lesson? Is there something you could change? Okay, answer those questions. All right, now reset. Gratitude. What am I thankful for in this moment right now? Because our greatest defense in this world, in this life we're living, is our energy. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. And it is so important at the end of every, we're going to go through this stuff. Your emotions are real, they're happening. But having the ability to, at the end of that little fit you're having, reset your energy. I am grateful right now for being in this room with a whole bunch of calm ass black people.
Yeah.
You gotta learn that too,
Yes,
though.
it does.
Like you gotta, and it's like I don't know if it should be specified when you're teaching your child, but you gotta learn really how to not just like love yourself. It's deeper than what I'm trying to say. It's like I had to learn how to trust my self talk.
Yes.
So I used to self talk, and now, or I even make it a better one. I used to pray, and I gotta pray like this, or how do you pray, or when I'm doing my self talk, Joshua, you're amazing. No, I like to get in the morning. Hey, motherfucker, it's you, you sexy ass nigga.
Yes.
Pop shit. You feel me?
Yes.
I had to get comfortable with being myself to talk to myself. That's crazy.
And
shit.
trust is a part of love, at least in my
It is.
definition. So
It is.
that is a layer. Like
Of
love
self-love.
is,
Yes,
you know what I'm
yeah.
saying, is a layer. It's not just love, period. Love is
Facts.
encompass so many other things besides just love. It's trusting yourself too.
So
which
what
makes it even
is
deeper.
each one of your definitions of self-love? What does it mean to love you?
It used to be Pornhub, but I've changed. I'm not the same guy.
The rose
no,
is
I'm
a part of
just,
myself.
I'm just playing.
Yeah,
definitely is.
You feel me?
yeah. Just being able to pour into myself and continuous. It needs to be a continual pouring into that cup so that cup doesn't continue to get it. Because like our guest Jazzy said, like you said, like a lot of us, we're people pleaser. We pour out, we pour, but that doesn't necessarily, we look to get that poured back into, but I can't necessarily look to you to pour back into me. It's nice if you do. I'm grateful if you do, but I can't look for that. So I need to be able, self-love for me is being able to continuously pour into myself, and that could be whether it's the rose, you know what I'm saying, the jackrabbit, it could be going, it could be going to get that mani pedi. It could be doing I'm going to take a day off and doing. It could be looking in the mirror and affirming to myself, but just continuously to do those things and to build that toolbox and not just let it be one thing. Let it be multiple things, just like multiple streams of income and revenue.
Yes.
You need to have multiple streams of pouring into yourself as well.
I think that forgiveness is a major part of self-love. To forgive yourself for allowing yourself to be the most ultimate you.
Yeah.
I like to be okay with who you are. Or if you were this then and weren't okay with that, but forgive yourself and allow yourself to continue.
That's what I had to do for sure.
Yeah.
It was real hard for me to forgive myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I still like when I mess up, I be hard on myself. So,
I hate
that's true.
Yeah.
But it's mainly just like you. That was the only thing holding me back from moving forward was the fact that I hadn't forgave myself. So I thought I was moving forward, but I was still in denial about everything.
Right. It was in bondage.
That's the key. Yeah. You will bondage. You put yourself in bondage.
You're in bondage.
And you being able to forgive yourself sometimes means having the ability to just be okay with the fact that you were wrong.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
I made some mistakes.
Anyway.
And then forgive yourself from it.
Forgive yourself. I hate to hear, and someone in this room does it, when something bad happens, they're like, man, I probably deserved it. No. No. There's never a time where you should just accept
I don't know who the hell that is.
Hit dogs holler.
Hit dogs. Yeah, right. Now I want to hear Janelle. What is your idea of self-love?
Oh, it's a long
list.
Hey, my baby know me. When say the college, how I be showing myself love, baby?
Okay, so you travel, you take baths, you meditate, you pray. Let me think. You like to meet new people, but you prefer to be by yourself when you're going through a lot. So you really just take time to yourself, and you pray a lot and journal. That's my main things that I know.
Okay, good.
You be doing.
Take them to college with you. I'm glad you said it. Okay, good.
You teach them.
Oh, you get to cook.
I love.
Yes,
that's my healing
for you.
And so I think self-love. Yes, I do it through all those ways. It's so funny you use the water example. So I always be telling people, like, they talking about that cup half full. I'm like, but if I make sure my cup is full and it's running over, then everybody will drink.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And so if I just keep my cup at the maximum, everything I put in there is running over. So everybody around me, they will drink. Yes. You don't gotta ask. It's already full, girl.
Right.
And so it just be like that. And so I think preservation is one of them. So always preserving myself, but the way I preserve myself is maintaining my priority. Yes. And so because I am my top priority, I have to preserve me. And a lot